Shalom, shalom, Shabbat, shalom, or the ending of the Shabbat. Yeah, let's get in this thing. There we go. Shalom, Sister Natalie West. Shalom, Brother Stephen Wilson. Shalom, shalom. Oh, it's here. Shabbat, shalom, or the ending of the Shabbat. We are not going to be on long today. We're going to try to keep this around an hour, hour and 15, and call it. Brother Anthony Glover, Shabbat Shalom. Dope Law, Shabbat Shalom, my brother. Shabbat Shalom. Sister Amy, Shabbat Shalom, sister, to your head, Brother David. Shabbat Shalom, brother. Brother Tom Sturgill, Shabbat Shalom, Brother Tom. Hallelujah. Brother Michael G, Shalom, my brother. Shalom, shalom. Got the message about the live. Yeah, a lot of people said that they didn't get the messages of my lives streams yesterday and last week. I have no idea what's going on with that.
You can tell us it happened to my phone.
Oh yeah, it's even happening to Zion's phone, her account. She's not getting alerted that she has the bell looking thing ring and all that, and still wasn't getting any notifications. Sister Deborah L, Shabbat Shalom, sister. Vulgar display of gunpowder, one of my favorite YouTube names. Shabbat Shalom, brother. Whoa, it's one of the best names ever. Brother Sean Harris, Shabbat Shalom, brother. It is good to see you as well, my brother. Hallelujah. Sister Angela, Shabbat Shalom. No, Brother Steve, we have just simple. I have the I don't know what the name of our phones were. We got them on sale. That's all I can say. They weren't iPhones though. I can't afford that. Patterson Homestead, Brother David, Shabbat Shalom. Nick, forgive me for mispronouncing it. I'm terrible with names. Rick, or Nick Rikina. Good evening from Massachusetts. Good evening from Massachusetts. Shalom. Sister Colleen, Shabbat Shalom, sister. Brother Frank, Shabbat Shalom, brother. Pastor Fox and Mother Kate, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to Shofar Mountain. Brother Mike B, Shalom. Shalom, shalom, brother. Brother William Squire, Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, I have an Android too. All of ours are Android phones. I just don't know what's going on where my notifications are not going out. Brother Shane Bristow, shalom, my brother. Shalom, shalom. Brother Sean, it has. It's been a minute, brother. It has been a minute. Brother Yohanatan, Shabbat shalom to you and your house. Sister Tara Ishi, your whole house, brother. I hope she is doing well. Baby's growing, and that everything is going the way it should be. Blessings to you, your house, and your seed, and your land, Brother Yohanatan. Shabbat shalom. Foxworth for Yah, Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom. Sister Cassie, and to your head, Brother Rob. Shabbat shalom, Brother Rob, and your wife, Sister Cassie. Shalom, shalom, shalom to Narrow Gate Homestead. Hallelujah. I had Sister Amy said she had to go on my channel to see that I was live.
That's what I have to do right now.
Oh, that's, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Enlightened one, Shabbat Shalom. To you and your wife, sacred visions. And to your land, bless you, brother. Bless your land, bless your family. Hallelujah. And Sister Trucker, Shabbat Shalom or Shalom. Hallelujah. And Life Learner, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. I am extremely greasy right now. I don't usually shine like this unless I'm sweating. Sometimes I'll be sweating. I'm on a laptop, not a phone, so it's not the phones. Oh, she's on a laptop. Wow. I don't know what happened. Me and YouTube used to be good friends. Now they demonetize my videos because I say keywords. They don't like it when I say those words. So then I get demonetized. And I guess it's a big old well. Oh, Redbeard's Racing, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, brother. I didn't even see that. Thank you, brother. I am honored. He said, Shabbat Shalom. Meeting with the brothers. We'll text you later on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bless you, brother. Yakin Maccabee. Shabbat Shalom or Shalom. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Cookie and Ray got. Dang it. Cookie and Ray was supposed to be on my team. They've turned on me. I mean, I still have videos monetized and they've left me alone for probably the last 2 weeks. But prior to that, they were demonetizing everything. Everything they were demonetizing. And I didn't understand what it was. But ever since like the virus hit, I guess the YouTube people haven't been on their A game. They've been letting a lot slip through, and we've been blessed by it. Dope Law, Shabbat. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Bless you as well, my brother. So we're gonna wait another 3 minutes. Nope, sorry, 2 minutes and 51 seconds because I usually wait till a 10-minute mark to get started. Let people get in. Maybe she require Patreon payments. Brother, you already know I am not going to do that. Yeah, in order for you to hear the word of Yah, you have to be at the $700 level. At that point, that's when I start actually giving you verses. But until that point in time, no, I'd never do that. I could never do that. Especially the word of Yah. Especially the word of Yah. I could not make money. I would just be the glorified Creflo Dollar, Leroy Thompson, Joel Osteen. If you want to hear a word from me, you better pay into it. No, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. And I'm not going to twist the scriptures so that people will pay me for it either. Paul said that now doesn't mean that I don't thank you all for for giving, but that is definitely not a requirement. What happened in Jonesboro, Sister Amy? Please tell me. Sister Tamika Goodwin. Shabbat Shalom. Arkansas. It's Arkansas, right? Yeah. Brother Crab with the dollar signs. Yeah, I'm not going to roll that way, ever. Big tornado. That tornado... or the storm went through our area. So yeah, a big tornado hit it. Man, that storm hit, we were under a tornado watch, and I was kind of like, uh-oh. It didn't go to tornado warning, it was a tornado watch. But thank you, Father. And for those who don't know, if you are in a tornado area, a very good website to use is Tornado HQ. Standing for headquarters, but Tornado HQ, you can program your map so that if they see clouds that are starting to form in your area, they'll alert you. So you'll know, or if a tornado's headed on your path, or if the storm clouds look like they are forming tornado heads, they'll let you know well in advance, so that you can take precautions. But yeah, I didn't hear about that, but I'm gonna look into it. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Wow. 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 Goodness gracious. Wow. Not close, but close. Not close, but close. Yeah, we didn't get it either. Was thankful to see your message about live tonight, so I knew y'all were okay, even though it's over 100 miles away from us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't be a live stream with that.
Oh, I'm not sure if I can touch my
Oh, you want one? Oh, baby boy. Okay, so it is 10-minute mark. All right. Obviously, a lot's going on. Today was a very interesting day in level of news that I was receiving. Okay, thank you, Sister Amy. Thank you. Um, for those of you who are looking at Drudge Report, these are some of the things that were up there today. Trump is mobilizing, I believe it was a national or the reserves. Brother Michael, shalom, shalom, shalom. Over 1 million reserves are being called up to active duty. Do you really believe that this thing's going to last 2 weeks? Does that look like the move of a president that believes that this thing's going to last us 2 weeks and that's it? No. This thing is going to have far-reaching ramifications, far beyond. I'm gonna tell you this. You know, with what we already know, with the police already issuing and putting out to the general public, which I don't know why you do that, that they're not going to be responding to certain calls. I have friends or acquaintances that I know of that live in the neighborhoods that I grew up in, who are posting up videos of them waiting outside of a liquor store. And the liquor store was only allowing, I think, 3 or 4 people in at a time. They got angry, and everybody ran into the liquor store and grabbed whatever they wanted and left. They were allowing 2 or 3 at a time, and the people got impatient because I guess they were afraid of things that they want, because the people that were going in were leaving with everything because they didn't have a limit at that liquor store. And the people got pissed off and just barged in. I got reports from other people of other people in the faith of people getting jumped outside the liquor store. Jumped outside the liquor store. Wow. Wow. Sister Amy said, big time looting in Mexico also. I can't give proof without jeopardizing a friend, but confirm that active duty does have marching orders as of yesterday, but no timeline given. You hear this? Here's some other interesting headlines. We're going to talk about all of them. We're not going to be on long. Trump is mulling over the complete shutdown of New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. The complete shutdown. Also, Rhode Island police are hunting down New Yorkers who have left prior to this day and will be using the National Guard starting tonight to help them find New Yorkers that are not in their state. I have reports from friends in Florida who said New Yorkers are in Florida. They are putting up checkpoints. And if you have a New York license plate, they are turning you around. Or they're telling you, you need to go into quarantine. But how do you get in quarantine if you're traveling south, let's say to South Carolina, and you're stopped in Rhode Island and they say, you need to quarantine yourself? I have a confirmed report of a friend who, the town that I used to live in, had a Walmart that closed down and then they made it a super Walmart. that Walmart that they closed down, they are now in the process of converting it. This Walmart has been closed. Zion, how long has that Walmart been closed? It's been closed at least 10 years. It's been closed down at least 10 years. Suddenly now, they are renovating the Walmart. And by renovating it, they are moving a lot of material into the Walmart. And it's not material like, coat racks. They're moving building material in. The garden center that usually had a big, tarp looking thing over it has been pulled off. They have welded the garden door shut, which means, what are they going to use that garden center for? It sure looks like kind of a jail. Yeah, that's what it looks like. They're looking for places to quarantine people in the area that I lived in, because they're already in the process of converting a civic center. Wow, they're putting up tents for medical use behind fences, where Sister Cassie said they used to live. That's right, vulgar display. That's what a lot of the people are doing. They're going to their vacation properties. So they're shutting down the ability to go south, which means a lot of these people are going to have to go north. A lot of these New Yorkers, people from New Jersey. I'm getting a ton of messages from people that know the channel or fellowship with via this channel, who are in New York, and they're saying, yeah, things are different here. There's a whole different vibe that is taking place in New York right at this moment. So I'm gonna say this: if you haven't left New York now, your ability to leave may be greatly compromised. You may not be able to leave New York City. And if you do get out of New York and people see that license plate on the back of your car, that's a dead giveaway. That's a dead giveaway. I know out here, I was talking with somebody. I picked up a couple more goats and for our herd. And they were talking, there's a kind of a general conversation. We were away from each other. It was a general conversation. And they were talking about they don't want to see anybody from any major city. Anybody. That they will actively try to, now I live in the middle of nowhere, but they will actively try to run people back to those states. New York, California, Illinois. They want to actively run them back. Hallelujah, unique taste of soul. Hallelujah. A lot's taking place where if you're not actively in the process of making moves, time is short. And that's what I told my friend. I said, can I use your story on YouTube, what you're seeing? He said, yes. So I'm going to actually, after this stream, I'm going to get his picture, and then I'm going to try to do a video tomorrow, and I'm going to show the picture of the Walmart. And he said at the Walmart, they had like fire trucks outside. And he said they had fire trucks, and Department of Health was outside the Walmart. That's right, El Count. I don't believe that you have the ability, and people are losing the ability to freely move. Here's some more. Missouri, I don't know how many of you heard this. A Missouri man, Timothy Wilson, was killed in a shootout because he had the intention of bombing a hospital. And that was in Missouri. He had the intention of bombing a hospital. Look up the name, Timothy Wilson in Missouri. He was what they're saying is a white supremacist, and was using the coronavirus incident to possibly bomb. Well, he got arrested buying what he thought was a truck bomb, and he was going to bomb a hospital. Watch out for the lunacy that starts taking place. It was a Kansas City, Missouri hospital that he was trying to bomb, if I remember correctly. But that was on, almost every news agency out there. It was he died in a shootout. Timothy Wilson. The Pentagon is looking at deploying troops in Chicago, Michigan, Florida, and Louisiana to help with the virus. And in that, you do know that that means shelter in place. You ain't going nowhere. The Pentagon was looking at deploying troops. You can look at that article. That was on Drudge Report. And he linked it, I think it was Yahoo where it was linked to. They're looking at deploying troops in Chicago. It's interesting. They mentioned Chicago, a city, along with a bunch of states. They mentioned Michigan, Florida, Louisiana, and Chicago. And Chicago. I find that rather interesting that they put Chicago, a city, in there with states. I have eyewitness confirmed reports of people, some of the people that I used to affiliate with in my past life. They are geared up. They are geared up for what is coming. Now, I don't know what that means. Are they geared up to loot? Or are they geared up? What are they geared up for? In the areas I lived in back in California, Southern California, we didn't really have police. We kind of policed ourselves. That's what it was. That's another thing, Brother Johanna. This thing, I think they said like over 300 CEOs have resigned from their positions in major corporations. 300. I had somebody ask me, what are my predictions? These are just predictions. These are not some sort of prophecy. These are predictions. You can't stop. 1 million troops. I mean, they said, 20% of the Detroit Police Department was under quarantine. 20%. 1 in 5 of the Detroit police were under quarantine for this virus. This thing, I have said it. They don't have. There's no end game that looks good in this situations. That's right, Pastor. That is right. I said it yesterday in yesterday's live stream. I ended it by saying, I hope, husbands, you have trained your wives for this situation. If you ever had a plan on leaving Florida, New York, New York, you already, it's finished. Florida, Louisiana, what was it? Michigan, what was the other state? Louisiana, Michigan, Florida. Please, if you're trying to leave Chicago, don't leave. You're staying in Chicago. Time's out. In fact, if you're planning on ever leaving wherever you are, if you plan on traveling across state lines and getting to your location, your time is if not up, it's running out. Because now, if you're the person going to your land, people aren't taking notice. That person has whatever kind of plates you got. California plates, Illinois plates, Florida plates, Texas plates. And people are not going to be very welcoming to you if you think that I'm just going to get up and leave when I'm ready. Time is running short. Time is running short where you may not even have the ability to freely move. And if they catch you trying to freely move, who knows where they put you? Yes, I did hear about that, sister. China's going through a second stage, and there's 3 stages to the virus. Yes, people are getting infected again. People are testing what they're saying negative and then testing positive again. That's why I said this is not a 2-week thing. This is not a 2-week solution. There is no 2-week solution. There is no 2-week solution to this thing. This is a long-term process. And then even after the virus, there is the problem of what happens economically. And it seems to me the economy is being thrown directly into the trash. China has also bought up the low stocks on the market. Many have said, right, I have heard that too. This thing is very, very alarming. This is why being in your location and being able to shelter in place, right, Sister Colleen, that's what I see. I see it lasting to the end of the year, at least. I don't see in any way that they can stop this thing, because Americans, people in this country are spoiled. They don't know how to go through any sort of tough situation without resorting at some point in time to violence or craziness, or substances, alcohol, drugs, something to dull their senses because they don't want to go through it. Look at the 2008 financial crisis. People were killing themselves. Millionaires were killing themselves because they lost their money. Because they lost their money. And you think that people are going to be able to maintain themselves? There are so, it's almost like the perfect storm. It almost feels like that. We're having food crisis, food situations. Farmers can't plant, and if they do plant, there ain't nobody there to harvest. There's nobody there to harvest. Right, it may not be the end times, but it's a, for sure, a big, that's right. I don't believe this is an end times event. What I do believe is that this is a big event. It's going to change the landscape. What we regularly knew as normalcy, I don't think we'll ever get to that again. That's my prognostication. We will never get to what normalcy was ever again. When you see a president saying that he is mulling, oh, shalom, Brother Alex, shutting down states, quarantining states, when the Pentagon, now, I don't know a whole lot about the military, but I do have a lot of friends that were in the military and came back and brought their information to the streets. I probably wasn't supposed to share that, but I did. I have a lot of friends who went into the military, served with the sole purpose of bringing their military training to the streets. Knew those people. Went to school with them. That's what I believe, Brother David. It's not the end, but it is the beginning of it. I do believe that this is the beginning of something bigger. That's right. Pastor Fox said it, setting the stage for the end times. I believe the stage. There are people who are making a reference to, we need a global governance to combat the coronavirus. We need a global government to fight this coronavirus. This is a time for us to take things, because there's a lot of deniers out there. I don't think it's this. It's fake. It's this. It's. Brother Ken said he served with those people. So you might have known some of the people that I knew. They were the ones that they were raised in the streets, right alongside me, and they were told, enlist in the military. From a young age, do not tattoo yourself, because that will identify you as this set, this clique, whatever grouping you were. He went to the military and met other people from different sets who were there strictly to bring their training to the streets. How many of you saw that shooting in San Diego? I think it was San Diego, where the guy with an SKS, I think he killed one cop and he held two more at bay. Now they eventually got him, but he sliced the pie perfectly and he gunned down that officer. Took cover behind the vehicle, then made his way to the edge of yes, he sliced the pie on them. He sliced the pie perfectly. He was trained by the government, and his footwork was on point. I mean, he didn't cross his feet at all. He slid, basically in basketball called a defensive slide. He basically did a form of a defensive slide where you don't cross your feet to trip yourself up. Perfect footwork. And used an SKS with a detachable mag. If you have ever seen an SKS with detachable mags, they're not real ergonomic. With the duckbill mag, they call them the duckbill mags, they're not real ergonomic. But he was able to hold 3 policemen and gun one down by himself. So there are always people that are out there who are willing to victimize others. Was it one of the governors? Which governor was it? Maybe it wasn't a governor. Maybe it was a mayor of a large city. It might have been in New York, but a governor of a city in New York. Don't quote me on that one, but look it up. He said that we need to empty out the prison population altogether. That was his quote. We need to empty out the prison population altogether so that they have an opportunity to survive. And Yah forbid they do that. They can't do that. Because I hope they can't do that. But I didn't think that this would get the way it is right now. I had somebody ask me, is this a SHTF situation? It's starting to feel like it. It's starting to feel like the buildup of something like that. Gavin Newsom from California said the same thing. So we got a California governor saying the same thing. This is why the importance of having your food, of having your firearms, of being trained, and Yah willing, being around somebody whom you can trust in. Yah willing, somebody that is of like faith, that has the same laws and morals that you do. Hopefully, this thing does not end up well. It doesn't. No matter what way I look at it, it doesn't end up well. And I'm not preaching fear, but I remember when I was talking about these things before. When I was talking about the coronavirus when it was in Wuhan. You're spreading fear. You're fear-mongering. Nothing's going to happen. And it was clear as day. If you look at the situation, China is not going to shut down their economy without America most likely going to do the same thing. It's not going to happen. So now I have people emailing me, and I feel for them because they're stuck in New York. They're stuck in New Jersey. And they're stuck, was it? New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. They're stuck there. Don't know how they're going to get out or where they're going to go. And what do I say? 12 tribes, shalom. Monty Great from Yah, shalom. What do I say? What do I tell these people? Without saying, this is why you should have made the moves. My aunt and uncle had an outside fridge on the patio. Neighbors told them they had seen two big guys climbing up on the fence and looking into the yard. They moved it into the garage. My goodness. My goodness. What do you... Shalom, need guidance. Shalom, sister. All right, go back in there. There's no, I don't have the words to tell people, well, you should have left. You should have left already. I mean, I had people saying, when do I bug out? And I'm looking like, you haven't left yet? You haven't left yet? What are you waiting for? Ah, hush. What are you waiting for? Why is it that we had to wait for this moment for us to decide, okay, yeah, I need to make a move now? How long have we heard these things? How long have people on YouTube been saying it? People of the faith been saying these things. And Sister Amy said it, and for so long we have been saying, get out while you can. Get out while you can. And if you don't, and as Sister Kim, if you don't have money, listen, I know there were people, we talked about it. I mean, Brother David, how long were we on there saying that? How long were we saying, listen, you can join with somebody? Well, I can't do it. I can't. I have this. I've got that. I know. Nope, I can't. Nope, I won't do it. I'm not sure. And all these reasons come out. What does the Apocrypha say? The wicked man finds an excuse according to his will. Everybody had excuses. The people who said that they didn't have the money then still don't have it now. But guess what? Now they're ready to go. Brother David says, since last Passover, we're coming to the new Passover. That's at least a year. People still don't have the money. They still don't have the money. They didn't have the money then, and they still don't have it now. But now they're saying, I'll pack my car and leave. Oh, wait. Back then, you didn't have the money, you couldn't do it. Today, you still don't have the money, you can't do it. But now you're willing to pack your car and just get out. Why is it that we have to have death or some sort of traumatic event knocking at our door for us to be awake? When you've heard the story of the prudent man foresees the evil and prepareth himself, the foolish man passes on and is punished. You've heard that. And now suddenly, okay, I'm ready to go now. I'll pack my car with whatever I have, and I'm gonna come out there and I'll work real hard, and I'm like, well, Patterson's homestead didn't have a whole lot of money. I sure as heck didn't have a whole lot of money when I made the move. I know brothers right now that moved to their lands in tents. Tents. I know brothers right now that have joy. I know a brother right now that left Kentucky, moved on to one of the Atlanta, another brother had, with his family and a tent. Got out before he could see it and say, listen, these don't look good. Let me make this move now. Let me go now. Let me go now. And I'm sorrowful for the people that heard these warnings. There are, right now you see represented, I saw Bear Independent, bless you, brother. There were 3 channels right there. Pastor Fox, Bear Independent, and this channel. That's 3 channels that were telling people, get out. Brother Michael G said, I'm sleeping in my car on 10 acres since November. Since November, on 10 acres in his car. Tribal Lady said, move with 3 children and a trailer by myself. There are answers. The problem is that we don't really see those as answers until the fire's put on us. Then it's an answer. Nobody ever sees growing a garden as an answer until you don't have food. Nobody sees eating beans and rice as an answer. I was looking at a report. They were saying that there's a possibility. I was joking about it yesterday. I was just joking about it yesterday. There's a possibility that the internet could go to dial-up speeds. Because everybody's home and everybody's logging onto the internet, whether it be for work or for information. Everybody's going to the internet, and the ISPs can't handle the traffic. So they're saying that they may have to lower speeds to dial up speeds. There goes your live streams. There it goes. There goes your ability to freely, and let's just say it goes down from there. I've noticed that Yakin Maccabee, I've noticed that 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm looking at my internet like, what the heck is going on? Oh, I like that, Brother David. Let me read that. Let me get that. People have failed to mortify their false idol of convenience, whom they willingly serve. They have served convenience to their own destruction, to their own detriment. I heard that. Thailand shut their borders. I did hear that. I read that. So what are the answers now? I mean, it's hard for me, because people, they'll ask, what do I do now? I'm like, I don't have an answer. The answer that I had was only an answer to prevent you from being in the position, because once you're in that position, I don't have an answer for you. Make the best of what you got in New York. I guess that's all you can do. That's why we talked about yesterday, faith. We read Hebrews 11, so that people could see what faith was. Faith is not this spiritual feeling. Faith is an action. It's an action. And we read how all of those people, Joshua and Rahab and Abraham and Noah, they had faith. So they moved. Noah, it says in Hebrews 11, he had faith. He saw things that had not yet come to pass and made moves to the saving of his house. He saw something that had yet not happened. None of us here could have told you, okay, there's going to be a virus. It's going to be called, Corona or COVID-19, and it's going to do this. It's going to start in war. We couldn't tell you that. But I feel that even television was telling you what was happening and what was going to happen. I believe that shows like Game of Thrones, winter is coming. Winter is coming. And for those who knew what it stood for, it was a metaphor. We had the signs. We knew with the stock market doing this, it's not going to last. Or at that time, it was just doing this. Exponentially, just going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. You had to have known it's going to come down. Well, that's right, Sister King. You haven't asked that. What an Elk Council. But Elk Council said, if you don't take care of your business will take care of you. That's right. So you've been told, stack, what's Bear Independence say? Stack food to the rafters. You've been told that. Stack food to the rafters. You were told, put food away. You were told to come out. People were saying that to you. And now, once we see these extreme measures to control this thing, now everybody wants to make a move. How many people do you think want to get on the ark once the door closed and the rain started falling? How many people want to make moves all of a sudden then? Now nobody's concerned about convenience. You were told to fill your lamp oil. These things were shown in the Bible routinely. People got mad at me and said, you need to stop talking about this. Okay. Now I'm going to keep talking about it. I remember getting emails. You need to stop talking about this. We don't need to do that. We don't need to. We don't need to prep. Okay, well, how about this? You don't do it then. I don't have to leave Chicago. I said, okay, don't leave Chicago. I don't have to leave this. I don't have to do that. I'm not telling you have to do it. Now suddenly it's brother, so do you remember that time you made a mention of us coming out? Do you know any homesteads that need somebody? Do you know of anybody any man that has property that wouldn't mind having? I'm like, well, no, most of the people that I know are shutting everything down now. They don't want to catch what's out there. They don't want to risk you coming from New York to their property and bringing what you got in New York to their property. It has nothing to do with rich or poor. I don't care how much money the person has. A shutdown's a shutdown. Jakar 3, Shalom, that's another brother, made the move, said, listen, I got to get out. And did it. Not all of us had money. In fact, most of us that are making the move probably didn't have very much money at all, which is why a lot of us lived in tents or lived in travel trailers or lived in things that I'm sure we wanted to live a much greater life. And that's right. And if a person does decide, I want to come out, listen, it's quarantine time for you. It's quarantine time. You go into quarantine. And that's a big if. That's right. And I'm hearing a lot of reports about that. People saying, suddenly my family's not laughing at me anymore. Suddenly they're not talking about me anymore. Suddenly. When all the signs were there. And it hurts me because why didn't they make the moves then? Why didn't they foresee the evil? Why didn't they hear the people telling them in love, listen, at this current time, there is a place for you. There is a place for you. Don't wait until the place is revoked to then try to come on. There are opportunities. There were plenty of opportunities. There were opportunities for people to save their money. Now we have an unemployment crisis. What's going to happen even after this is finished? All these jobs aren't coming back. These jobs are not coming back. Pastor said Luke 4:24. Let's go there. Let me go to my trusty e-sword. And he said, verily I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. In his own country. People didn't want to hear it. Few did. Few wanted to hear it. And few actually said, I'm going to make the moves. I'm going to move in faith. Mind you, those of us who were saying it, well, at least I can speak of Pastor Fox, Brandon Independent, and myself. And many of the others that were saying it, we weren't saying it to have any personal gain. We weren't saying it to make money off of you. I wasn't saying it so that you could become part of me and send me your tithes and offerings. And I know they weren't saying it for that reason also. We were saying it because we wanted you to succeed. You know, I didn't say, you do it, but you're under my banner. I didn't say that. I wanted to see people succeed. I want to see us that serve Yah in spirit and truth have safety. I'm getting emails from people who were, you know, the spiritual ones. I'm not worried about it. Oh, I know Yah's got me. Now they're sending the emails. Well, do you still have a place? Do you know anybody? I'm like, what? I thought you said, Yah, you have to live out your faith. You're abandoning ship already? You said your faith. You said that you were like Elijah and that Yah was going to feed you with ravens. And already you're abandoning ship. Already. And I literally had somebody tell me that they have the faith of Elijah and they're going to be fed with ravens. And now Ed said, well, brother, I just need a place for just a little bit of time. I don't get it. Brother Jerry, shalom. Shalom, Brother Jerry. Hallelujah. Bless you, brother. Yeah.
Shalom, Brother Jerry.
Hallelujah. For those who don't know, Brother Jerry was, he helped me start the building of my house. He squared it. Y'all heard the story, what I told when we were stuck here for 3 months and somebody that I didn't know came out and helped us out. That was him. That was him. Drove almost 2 hours. Helped us a lot. A lot. Hallelujah. So we have New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut quarantined. What are the ramifications that are going to come from that? How many other states are going to experience this, if not all the states? I mean, we know that New York will allow it to happen, and New Jersey will allow it to happen. The Pentagon is eyeing Michigan, Florida, and Louisiana, and Chicago, putting troops on the streets. Now, I guarantee you, they're not there to shoot at the virus. They're not going to be, okay, well, they're not there to shoot the virus. Since the tribal lady said Alaska got an order. Alaska got an order. Many states have plans in the works. The people are going to go crazy. Joe Lopez, shalom. The people are going to go crazy. Um, what plan do you have for that? What plan do you have for the possibility of people going crazy? I'll say this: if Rodney King got beat by a cop and they almost burned LA down, what's going to happen from this? What's going to happen from this? When sports teams win their championship and people decide to flip cars and burn everything down, what's going to happen with this? This is the event. This is not even the event. Much worse can come from this. But this is one of the things that was talked about. What happens, brothers and sisters, if they determine that the internet is spreading too much gossip and they shut that down? Wessel Ford said his work told him that he was essential and replaceable all at the same time.
Whoa.
Right. When Jordans came out, people went nuts, started beating each other up. Think of Black Friday with guns. Yeah, Ferguson, Missouri. Thank you, Stay Survive. Ferguson, Missouri. What is going to happen? What is going to happen in your location? This is why, brothers and sisters, this is why I call the major cities the reservation. And they're about to show that right now. They're about to clamp these major cities down and have people on it like the reservation. You ain't going nowhere. This is your area. You stay here. This is your area. You stay here. This is your area. You're in Chicago. You stay here. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't leaving. We're clamping it down. Reservation. It's amazing. Even out here, I can still get in my car and just drive. No problem. No problem. I got crackheads right down the street. That should make things interesting. What about those people? I mean, I just think about the grand scheme of things. What about people that are dependent on their psychotropic drugs to have a stable mind so the demons stop speaking to them? What about those people? What about those that don't mean you any good? That don't like you? These are the things that we are currently faced with. And that doesn't even include food, the lack of food. I sincerely hope that those that have listened to either one of our channels, I sincerely hope you have gardens in. I sincerely hope you pulled up your rose bush. No, keep the rose bushes. You can use that. That you pulled up your lawn and are growing food. I sincerely hope you have pots everywhere. I sincerely hope that you have a bucket of food, 10 buckets of food, 100 buckets of food. Because I'm letting it be known right now, the rock here, we were not on a hard lockdown. Thus, I went out and got 2 more goats. We are about to enter that. The hard lockdown where ain't nobody leaving and ain't nobody going. Hungry people will straight up act a fool when those they love or care about are starving regardless of classes or socioeconomic status. That is right. That is right. 3 meals from chaos. That's right. Most people don't have 3 days worth of food in their house. Let's see. Vulgar display of gunpowder, still the greatest name ever, said, as a former rural LEO, law enforcement officer, the country and small towns will be bad as well. Most drugs come from the cities and addicts will be crazy. That is exactly the truth. That is exactly the truth. Meth, one of the things that runs all through Arkansas and Missouri, meth. When they can't get it, because it's not being brought in, because it's not being transported on the 40, what's going to happen then? They're going to need their meth. They're going to need their fix. They're going to need their drugs. and they're going to go out looking for it. And these damn flies. Do you have the ability to protect yourself? Is your, and I'm saying this, but does your spouse know how to handle a firearm? Do they? You want to be around like-minded people. You just do. You just do. Pastor Fox said, "Why, yes, she does." Mother Kate is very efficient with a firearm. Well, yeah, that is funny, huh? I have trained them to be effective with a firearm. And no, nobody is hoping that we get to that point in time. But the simple fact is, that's what, especially a spoiled nation where people are expecting to go to a grocery store and have their shelves stocked with food. People expect that. They expect to go to the grocery store and be able to have the pickings and choosings of the foods that they want. Baby Badger does agree.
Since we were talking about that, I was asking my cousin, since she's a cop too, speaking of law enforcement, about
did she
Los
respond?
Angeles. Yeah, she just did. She said Los Angeles is real bad.
Oh, she does have a
cop, and my brother's a cop.
She has a brother and a cousin, and we know her cousin well. Yeah. That's a policeman.
And my brother's a cop.
And her brother's a cop. Her cousin just reported to her that Los Angeles is
really bad.
Really bad.
She said, just now.
She was just texting her right now.
I was just talking to her. She said so far, when she checked up on the family, they're okay. So far, she said it's getting really bad, worse. But so far, our part of the family is okay that she talked to. And that this is a great time to live off grid. She said, good thing you're off grid. It's a great time to be living off grid.
It is.
And she's a cop.
It is a great time to be out. A great time. I have a brother who's a policeman in Baltimore.
And my brother is a policeman in Ohio. And Ohio is bad right now. And so is Baltimore.
Baltimore's hell right now. We have a sister in the faith who is a nurse in Baltimore. She said it's hell. I mean, there are cases showing up everywhere, and that's the thing about Facebook. It's hard to you turn on Facebook and everyone's, I'm not worried about this thing. It's fake. It's this. It's that. Look at the results of it all. Okay, even if you didn't care about the virus at all, look at the results of what's happening. Look at what's happening to people. We haven't even gotten to a lockdown yet, and people are losing their mind. We haven't even gotten to a point yet where the states and the cities are locked down. You're not leaving. Wait till they get to that point. You leave your house. We're taking you to a center. We haven't gotten to that point yet. That's the amazing thing. Hi, baby boy. Hi. Hi. My friend was driving down the 405 and it's empty. Brother Frank said they'll get used to eating beans and rice. Oh, they sure will. I think of the mothers. Here's one thing. Woo! I was really sitting down. I was writing down like the things I was thinking about. I was thinking about the mothers that rely on Enfamil and what's the other one? Similac. But there's a good-looking boy. You can bring him on. This is one of them. This is what. You just happy. You just happy. To those babies that are, you just cheesy. You just stop smiling. I can't do this live show with you smiling. Oh. The people that are reliant upon baby formula for their children, and they can't go to the store and get it. What do you feed your child at that point in time? Yeah, he's got tons of cheeks. What are they going to do to feed their children? Let's say they dried up. They dried up and they're running out of Similac and formula. I had friends that were sending me messages saying, hey, do you have any wipes? because they went to Walmart and the Walmart was gone. They had no diapers and no wipes there. And I'm like, wipes? What about a washcloth, some soap, and some water? Whatever happened to a washcloth? I don't understand the toilet paper frenzy. I don't understand that, because whatever happened to washcloths and water? I'm not talking about leaves. How about some old t-shirts stripped up? You can make 100 of those and be able to wipe yourself. And people were out there buying up paper goods. That lets you know how in trouble we are. That people's minds can't even figure out an answer of, well, I'll just take some old t-shirts, some old washcloths, and I can clean myself. Instead, people went out there and bought the toilet paper. People went out there and bought up bleach. I went to Walmart. Bleach was gone. Y'all saw that video. The bleach was gone. I walked to the back of the store, and I'm sitting there staring at a whole pile of pool shock. No algicide whatsoever. This pool shock sitting right there. I'm like, you can use pool shock to make bleach. But they were destroying themselves to get a bottle of bleach. It's right there. It's called pool shock. You can make as much bleach as you want with that. And it's more shelf stable when you keep it in the powder form. But people were destroying themselves over bleach. Drag your rear. I had somebody say, do what dogs do.
Do what dogs do?
Do what dogs do. When you see I call it butt dragging. When they're butt dragging across the ground, I said, wait a minute, I can't do that out here, because if I butt drag myself across this dirt out here, I won't have a butt when I'm done. I will not have a butt when I'm done. That thing will be raw.
Now's the time to get a bidet.
Right, a bidet. You can get a pump. Those little pumps, that we have one right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we show the other one?
Right, yeah, right. Well, we're gonna show you something. We're gonna show you just a couple of little things that we have here.
And I love it.
She uses it all the time. Brother David said, you right there. Yeah, you can't butt drag yourself across this soil. Woo!
Actually, I prefer this over
Yeah, I love this.
tissue.
This is what they use over tissue. Pump, clean, rag goes, and then they wash the rags. It gives a new meaning to grass stains. This is what? This is a Harbor Freight one? Yeah, it's a Harbor Freight one. I got some Harbor Freight. I think they're $6 at Harbor Freight. This is what people use for their lawns. Honestly, yeah, it's a half gallon. Honestly, when I wash up, I use this for my shower. I put hot water, cold water, shake it, soap up, pump, and I got my own little, people like those little shower heads that you pull off the wall. And this thing is perfect. I can get in all of those tight spaces with this.
It's easy to hold. That's
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Now we started off with is that the 3-gallon one?
That one.
2-gallon. I think we started off with a 3-gallon one. We started off with this one. And no, I know it says Roundup on it. No, we don't use Roundup. Actually, it was the bottle just itself, and it was in the chemical section. We just bought the bottle. Actually, Brother Manny bought the bottle and gave it to us.
We had a smaller one than that one.
Yeah, we had a smaller one than this one. So now we don't even use that one really. But this is a $6 shower. This is to give how many tight spaces you got.
And it's plenty of water.
And it's plenty of water. It's a half gallon. When I rinse off, I actually rinse off with less than it's a half gallon, right?
This is half, yeah.
Oh yeah. I rinse off with less than a half gallon of water. Less than a half gallon of water. When I'm done, I'll still have a quarter of a half gallon left. And I've rinsed off and clean. Because you have to start thinking now, yeah, and you don't waste water. That is right, Sister Colleen. Thanks for the clarification so that no one sprays their butt with Roundup. like, wait a minute. He said it keeps it clean. Like, no, don't spray your butt with Roundup, please. Like I see, and some of you sisters out there, you are always talking about, I love that the sister's skin is so beautiful, so glowing. How many used to think it's glowing when you realize that they rinse off with this? They're the one who said it. They said their skin's so beautiful, it's so glowing. Oh my gosh. They rinse off with this. They rinse off the soap off of their body, and they do their hair with this. And you can look, you have your own little nozzle adjuster right there. You want to spray, you want it to be a laser, all right there.
That thing's awesome.
And they love it. They absolutely love it. $6. $6 shower. Is their skin still glowing now? Like, nope. I knew their skin was nasty. I saw those spots on it. These are the simple things that we may have to start learning. We don't even have to go to them right now. But how many would just try it. Take a shower with a gallon of water. Just one. Get a little wash tub, which is what we do. We have a little wash tub. You pour a little bit of water in it, and we soap up, and then we rinse off. Just 1 gallon of water. Try to shower with it. Because we don't know how far this goes. How many of us thought it would have gotten to this point? I know people were sitting there saying, it's never going to get that far. It's not going to get that far. It's not going to get to the point where they're doing this, and now we're there. So now you have to start thinking further now. What happens if it does affect internet, water or water pressure, electricity? What are your options now? This is a neat guy said, yes, they are still beautiful. Y'all still beautiful. Y'all still got it. Everyday bathe. Right. That's right, Pastor Fox. Every day bathe like that with 1 gallon of water. Every day. For you military men, you're all like, man, you can give me a shot glass and I'll be fully clean. That's the military man. They're like, give me a shot glass of water. So Pastor Fox, I already know you clean yourself up with a shot glass of water or 1 wet wipe from KFC. You know, I already know that, Pastor. You got it. He's like, I got 1 wet wipe from KFC. Like, what is that movie? Book of Eli. 1 wet wipe and you hit all the vital parts and you good. And actually, Brother David did bring us a on-demand hot water heater. We haven't even installed that yet. That's another beautiful luxury that we're going to get in. I'm actually building our shower, or going to be starting building our shower, starting tomorrow. So we actually have a shower. But 3 years using that. Oh, Brother John Sis said we couldn't shower because we needed water to drink in 125-degree weather. Didn't shower for 3 months. Woo! Brother Johnny Smith. These are the things we might want to start learning, if anything. If anything. Start learning these things because we don't know how far this thing goes. We have no clue how far this thing goes. We don't know what the end game is. Just the simple idea that they're putting troops on the streets and talking about shutting down travel is already a very mind-blowing statement. Then when they start saying things like, it could be, I heard reports, we may not hit the peak of this thing until May. Mid-May. Mid-May is when they hit the point, the peak. That means we have to go through all through April. We haven't even finished March yet. We have to finish up March, get all through April, and then hit to mid-May before we hit the peak, and then there's a downward slope from that point.
And then it's a second wave.
And then a second wave, in fall. So let's just say we don't even really have a summer. And then fall comes, and then whether it's real or not, they could roll it back out and say, hey, it's spreading again. It's fall and it's spreading again.
And it cannot be real.
I'm looking at sports players talk about season start. I'm like, what season? There may not be any more sports. That would cause people to lose their mind right there. You know what? Thank you, vulgar display of gunpowder. He said, grid down hygiene would be a great video idea.
Oh.
That would be a great video. That would be a great. Thank you, brother.
Or you can, and then you all could use some of these tips. You can start applying in this type of situation right there at your place.
Right.
When people didn't have water, we know people in the city when they didn't have money to pay their water bill, you have to do grid like things anyway.
Yeah, off-grid things, yeah.
So maybe you the ones who didn't get a chance to leave or can't leave as of yet, you can start doing it. Or the ones who had to rush and leave, you can still.
Because you may be forced to. Brother David said, may not peak anytime soon. I've heard that too. I've heard some people say the only reason they're giving you date. I can't say I've talked to, but I know people who work in that, and they said based on what they see with this virus, and it doesn't matter what any president or any prime minister did, based on what they see of this virus, you can't put a time on the peak. You can't put a time on it. Because if we're talking about waves of this thing coming in, we don't know when the peak's going to hit. Are you talking about the first wave peak or the peak in general? You don't know. And if they release people back out to go to work, guess what happens again? Look at what's happening in China. People are getting sick again. And returning right back to, it's going to end up right back in the current state. Because people want to save the economy. But the economy's dead. Oh, Elcount, thank you. He said, if we miss planting time as a nation along with this other stuff, like limited movement, no help, limited repair parts will be real troubles. That's right. Guess what? Tractors take parts. Harvesting food takes people. The border's closed. Do you honestly think Americans are going to go out there and harvest food in these fields? No. Which is why they brought over the labor from Mexico anyways. So no, there's not going to be any harvesting in these fields, even if we did plant. So where's the food go? And then who processes the food? Because it takes food and it takes truckers. And I just read a report that 150 truckers in California from, I can't remember the company, they got fired, they got laid off. So it takes trucks to take the stuff from the fields to process. Then it takes trucks to take it from the processing areas to the distribution centers. Then it takes trucks to take it from the distribution centers to the stores. So what happens? What happens? This is why you have to be responsible and plant your own food. This is where I talk to the brothers. This is where we have to be prudent and put food in the ground. Seeds. Put some high dense calorie items. Put potatoes. I said potatoes. I pronounced every syllable of that word. Potatoes. Put potatoes in the ground. I'm actually putting Jerusalem artichokes in the ground. Put food in the ground. Beans, onions, plant perennials, plant some herbs, some mints. They keep coming back. I mean, they're really invasive. They really will keep coming back. If I know you, I'll say this. Potatoes. Potatoes. Brother David said, you better reap what you sow. It's coming down to that. Oh, wow. Sister Kai said, my head's friend just lost a contract. He is an owner operator, so he has others. So he lost, we were losing contract. Plant trees. What Mother Kate, she did an excellent video on how to harvest, which I missed it because jackass Amazon, but how to get sap. Was it sap?
Yes, Master.
To make syrup. A calorie dense. Get taters. I'll say this, for those that I know, if you want seeds and have not bought any, I've already sent some out. Sister Kim, yours should have arrived already. Have yours arrived? I will send out some seeds so that you can get your garden started. I can do that much. I ain't a rich man, but I can do that much. Also, if you want mint, I will straight up put some mint and some aluminum foil with a little bit, spritz it with some water, and I'll send it out to you. Just so that you can have something to put in the soil. And mint will grow. We got mint growing everywhere. I made a bed, and the mint's growing outside of the bed now. That mint's everywhere. I got peppermint, spearmint, chocolate mint, and sweet mint. But you gotta do something. Let me say that for those that have already done something, and if you want mint, because you ain't done nothing, I ain't saying you know mint. But if you already done something, have already made some sort of moves, got a container with some green beans in it, I'll send you some mint. Right, tap the trees. Something. If you've got acorn, you can eat acorns. Now, some of them have some extremely, the tannin is, woo. Don't want that, but you can eat them. Sister Amy, we just bought 4 elderberry trees and planted them. We bought 4 elderberry trees. We got more figs, more blueberries, more blackberries. Right, the Dollar Trees, 4 packs of seeds for $1.
Mm-hmm.
You can throw those in the soil. The declaration of national emergency allows for people to be conscripted in a service to the government, so many Americans may become the next migrant workers. Wow. Brother Frank, it's a local store. The lady does her own propagations. Right, mint grows everywhere. It does. Thanks to you and Bear, I put my garden in this year. First time since I was a kid. Not like riding a bike. He said not like riding a bike. Hallelujah. He's got a garden in. It will grow his food. At least some of it. Because I'm telling you, when we were here for that 3 months before Brother Jerry came and helped us out, we were eating rice and beans every day for 3 months. It was rice or beans. Now, you learned a lot about yourself when you were eating rice and beans every day for 3 months. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And your children will learn a lot about, you'll learn a lot about your children also. Mine just happened to be awesome. And they made it through it with no problem. But the average human being cannot live on rice and beans for 3 months. And then when we had some basil. You have no clue what basil does to rice and beans after you had it for about a week straight. You put some basil in there. You're like, oh my gosh. This is the best tasting food ever. Because you put a little bit of basil in there. So if you already have your staples, your maybe some legumes. Brother Jerry said, you guys are tough. See, but then you came and helped us out, Brother Jerry. Listen, that's why when you came, we were happy to go to the store. Like, we need some meat, we need some seasoning, because it was tough. But when you were eating rice and beans and pasta and you were on a seasoning, which is why I suggest that everybody store seasoning, plant garlic, Brother Elcount said, plant some, you can use mint in your rice and beans and pastas. Zion makes an excellent seasoning. He's always getting hurt.
I mean, he just walked back there. Right?
He just walked back there. He's a new crash test dummy. He gets hurt. Greens. You can put greens in your dry goods. Spinaches. It's wonderful. Sorry, all the babies are crying right now. All of them are. So you can do so much. Money. Sorry, he was walking back there and tripped. Anyways, you can do so much with simple staple foods and a garden. So much. And eat. So many people will not be eating. Was it Spice? Is that Spice Bam or Spice Barn? Spice Barn has nice. Take him downstairs. Spice Barn has nice, bulk spices. Propagating fig trees in the morning. Shalom, Brother Chris. Shalom, Sister Rosie. A baby symphony. That's what it sounded like. Brother, off topic, during the baby crying break, what is behind your head? The silver items. Yes. As the house expands, things are being moved. These are actually, Brother David, our cups. Just our cups. And then these are the canned goods. This used to be a makeshift toilet paper storage area. Kind of. Now, all that's moved. So this is actually an extension of the kitchen. Because we actually use our wood stove to cook a lot. We use our wood stove to cook a lot on. So this is actually just an extension of the kitchen now. So those, we have our canned goods. Let me see. I can't stand those, but fermented collards. Can't stand them, but they like them. Now, if they hide it in my salad, I'll eat it. I'll eat it, but I can't stand them. Rock hiding that's a as soon as people start going crazy with toilet paper, I was like, listen, we're gonna take the toilet paper down. Because I think I'm a millionaire right now. And I could be start peddling out toilet paper like, how many sheets you want? No, I'm joking. No more toilet paper on camera. OPSEC. You can't show people the toilet paper. But honestly, this is an opportunity for those of us, because for those of us that are in this faith, if you have not made a move and you can make a move, make the move. Make the move. Hiding in the walls. If you have the opportunity to make moves, make them. Food and toilet paper, the new currency. If you have the opportunity to make moves, Alex, he's about to make it rain toilet paper. How am I supposed to be serious with y'all making toilet paper comments? Let me show you another thing we're doing. And this we do it to all of ours. If you want to provide, what the hell just happened to my finger? A nutrient powerhouse, sprout your lentils. We rarely eat lentils just plain. We sprout all of our lentils. And there's actually more nutrients when you sprout them. So sprout your lentils. That's another way to get some nutrients that you wouldn't normally get if you just cook them as beans. Sprout them. And honestly, these things, I can eat these on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich all day long. And they're so good. They are so good. Obviously, I eat them on salad. I love salad. But woo!
And we've been eating omelets.
Oh, we eat them on salad. I eat them on peanut butter and jelly, which I know sounds weird, but I do. What do you eat them on?
Omelets.
Our omelets. We'll make our omelet, and we'll just sprinkle lentils on it. We put them on everything.
Everything good.
Everything.
And when I thought we want a snack now,
Yeah.
we'll just put eat some lentils, and they'll keep us from, too
Yeah.
much.
If you want a snack, we'll just grab a handful of lentils that are sprouted. Sister Amy said nasty. It's good. You don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
No, I think they're talking about the peanut butter and jelly sandwich part. It doesn't change the taste. I mean, a little bit, kind of. But I don't like eating foods with very little nutritional content. So since I consider peanut butter and jelly kind of like a treat for myself, I sprinkle lentils on it to also get nutrients while I'm getting my treat. Yeah, Elcal said, I'll just stick with lentils in my chili. Okay, you can do them that way too. But sprout your lentils. Just sprout them. And all the things that you would eat, if you make a soup, just put sprouted lentils in there on top as a topping. They're so good. And look it up. Look up the nutrient content of lentils sprouted compared to lentils not sprouted. You'll be very surprised. You'd be very surprised. And I think one thing that people, they do have very little flavor. one thing I think that we will need is that we start diving into our food reserves, the food that we store. You're going to need nutritional value in your food. That's the one thing that I think that people will be lacking severely if this thing continues on and gets worse is nutritional value. First of all, we're already nutrient deficient based on the fact that we eat grocery store food. So you're going to want to replace you're going to want nutrients. You're going to want to be thinking. Have you ever sprouted sunflowers? I have not. Actually, we're growing sunflowers for the first time this year. They actually did sprout, but we're actually growing for the first time this year. Kale and lots of it. I like kale. We have a whole lot of kale, growing in right now. But the David said, "Hey, because I read it in Pastor Fox's book, I stored Pop-Tarts. My children had never had them in their entire life. We sampled them today. Not very nutritious, but fun and storable. Store, as Brother David was saying, store some foods that you like. I happen to like hot tamales. Those little red candies. I love those things. So guess what I did? I stored some. Don't be inquiring on my hot tamale supply." Rika was like, "Oh, because I don't know if she's ever had them before, but she tried them, and now she's hooked." So when I just said I stored some hot tamales, she's like, "Oh, you did?" No, I didn't.
Not for you.
I stored hot tamales in a 5-gallon bucket.
Really?
Well, you gave us some Mike and Ike, so we're good.
They got Ike and Mike's. I got a 5-gallon bucket. So if I ever come on one of the live streams, I look like a horse or a cow, you know what I ate. I ate all the hot tamales. All of them. Yeah, I'll share. I'll give them 2.
2, really?
Yeah, 1 for you, 1 for her. The children said thanks for the Pop-Tarts. Father, show you just told yourself. Listen, I'm serious about storing food. And I know some of you are. Some of you have made some serious sacrifices to store food. Aren't you glad you did? I know I am. I heard it from somebody else. Pastor Fox. Bear Independent. I heard from somebody else. I mean, gardens. DW is hooked on mint M&Ms. We have them in buckets. All right. Where did I get sprouting lentils? I've been doing that. I was always raised poor. And my mom used to sprout them. My mom used to sprout them because she said that when you're a poor person, you need to learn how to get nutrients without relying solely on vitamins. Because we couldn't afford the vitamins. So she used to, and for those who don't know, my mom was raised as a Black Panther. So in that, it was a lot of self-preservation, like preserving yourself, learning how to do things with no money. And she did not want to depend on the government. So we didn't get on food stamps. So she just struggled. And she made food last that I don't understand it. It just lasted. It just lasted. So she would buy lentils, and she always bought in bulk. So she would buy lentils by like, it felt like a ton because we were always eating them. But she'd buy like 100 pounds of lentils, 100 pounds of rice, 100 pounds of like a great navy bean or some sort of bean. And she had 4 boys. And we ate that all month. And then when we had meat, it was a treat. So she'd buy like a package of meat, and that meat lasted the whole month also. She would put little parts of meat in our food. And it just worked. It just worked. I've always had love for vegetables. I know my system. If I eat vegetables from my garden, I'm going to the bathroom. Within, how many hours would you say I'm going within?
He might as well been born with a system that goes to the bathroom. That's all he does is go to the bathroom.
I know my system exactly. If I eat a salad from these gardens, I'm going to the bathroom.
And that look I just had, if you saw it, is because I have never seen somebody's system work so well. Where's the time that we didn't have very many vegetables, and we were just eating like pure rice. And the first day we got just a little bit of vegetables, he was able to go to the bathroom and cleanse. And I'm still sitting here like, how many vegetables do I need to eat before my body does that? Like any sort of vegetables make him go to the bathroom. He has the best system I've seen. Like, oh my gosh.
So gardening was also something that I learned back then. For those who don't know the story, I told it before. CB Graphics, glad you have that toilet paper. That's a good point. That was also another thing. I was like, I go to the bathroom way too much. I know this is way too much information. I'm gonna tell you anyways. I said I go to the bathroom way too much to not have toilet paper or a means to clean myself. Way too much. I'm not gonna do what dogs do. I'm not gonna lick it, and I'm not gonna drag it. So I need to wipe it. That's just logical, problem solving. Sister Cassie said my head as well. Sister Cassie, Brother Rob, he just goes. He eats vegetables and he goes. I that's just my system. Or that spray bottle. That spray bottle is impressive. I will tell you, the spray bottle, it not only does it clean, but it soothes. It's a two-part. You have to understand that two-part. Oh my gosh. Need Guidance said, Ero Brown, shalom, brother. Thanks for your testimony and a shout out to your brothers to live off the earth. Hallelujah, brother. I saw your garden. I saw your garden on Facebook. I was like, my brother. My brother. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sister Need Guidance said, I'm a certified and licensed massage therapist. So if anyone is nearby willing to travel and be of help. I lived in my car for 6 months as a single sister, so I'm not afraid of sacrifice. And people don't. So twice a week is bad? Yes, twice a week going to the bathroom is bad. In all actuality, you're supposed to go to the bathroom if you're relatively regular, at least once a day. If you're really regular, you're going to go to the bathroom after every meal. I go after every meal. So
we'll at least go twice a day.
And they will at least go twice a day.
At least, sometimes.
So when people are going like 2-3 times a week, yeah, you're pretty backed up, pretty bad. You want to add some roughage and some fiber. You want to soften that stool, but then the roughage, as it goes through your colon and your intestines, it scrapes the side of your intestines to make it really callously. It scrapes the side of your intestines and colon and scrapes a lot of that stuff. Now, some people doesn't mean they still need a whatever they do to put themselves out. I've never done that because everything just comes out anyways. Cabbage soup. That's another good one. That's right. Cabbage soup. Eat some tough roughage like broccoli, cabbages, purple cabbage, something like that. Something like that. Yes, it draws water into and you need to stay hydrated. That's one of the biggest problems where people suffer from constipation. People always immediately turn to fiber. A lot of times people don't drink enough water. I drink about 1.5 gallons of water a day. 1.5 gallons of water a day. You should be drinking and intaking a lot of water, especially with these times coming.
And may I share a little bit? And also, like Master, I've been eating like Master have, not to the degree he has from being younger, but like fruits and vegetables. But then I was too much meat and certain things. So when Master and I got married, he changed my whole diet. And I practically, like, everything he eats, I eat, except for all the hot stuff. He eats a lot of hot foods, and
that's good for you too.
Now I eat it, but in smaller amounts. He in a large quantity. But I did notice something he said about water. Whenever I notice that I'm not regular and I'm eating vegetables, like especially like recently, I've been eating salads 2 to 3 times a day, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I notice a difference in me going to the restroom. I should be going. And one of my issues is, and my sister probably could tell you the same thing, is coffee. Coffee, whenever I drink coffee, I stop drinking water, and I don't know why. I'm not thirsty anymore.
Just Mountain Dew counts for water.
The moment
doesn't count, Brother David.
The moment I start drinking water again, when I notice I'm not going to the restroom, I'm eating all the salad, all the fiber, and I'm still not going to the restroom. I stopped the coffee for a while just to drink water, and immediately I started going to the bathroom again. So what Master's saying is right. If you could eat all the fiber you want, but if you're not drinking enough water, you'll find yourself
Yep.
backed up again. And
Water is an essential. I've studied. I've taught human nutrition. I have a BS in it, Bachelor's of Science in it. Um, you need water. And let me say this, especially with these times, your health is one of, even beyond guns and ammo and food storage and how many preps you have of this, your health is the most important thing that you have. You cannot afford to be going to the hospital in times like this. Your oral health is vitally important. How many people have had a tooth issue? Now imagine you can't go to the dentist and have that procedure done, that tooth extracted, that root canal, that cavity filled. You need to take care of yourself. You don't want to be going to a hospital where there's viruses. You don't. Yeah, you should be active. Be active. That's another thing that people that suffer from, is sitting around. Yes, but Brother David, you got to put that Mountain Dew down. You got to put that Mountain Dew down. Mountain Dew is a disaster. First of all, soda itself is just terrible for you. Terrible. I've trained people, and people have lost 20, 30 pounds by just dropping soda. Just don't drink soda. You know, they're like, well, I'm trying to go to the gym every day. I'm like, well, what's your diet? Well, I eat Taco Bell and fast food, and I drink about 9 to 10 cans of soda a day. I'm like, wait, stop. 9 to 10 what? Cans of soda? First of all, your body, your kidneys, you've got to filter all that out. You're going to have to filter all of that out. You don't want your kidneys working like that to filter out soda. I mean, think of the sugar that's in that. I need more push-ups and less Oreos. She said, yep, that's Mr. Patterson. You want to stay away from the soda as much as possible. As much as possible. It's just not, and that it's any soda. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Yah forbid. Please. Brother Dave said, if I drop 20 to 30 pounds, I will be nothing. But here's the thing, Brother David, you're on your homestead now. So when you drop that 20 or 30 pounds, you're just going to replace it with muscle. You're going to look a lot different. He said, I taught drinking soda and drop shit, but when I get on the land, that getting on the land, Brother Frank, he said, I ain't draw shit since
I dropped soda when I was like in middle school, right before high school, and dropped 20 pounds almost instant, it seemed. Like, literally, my coach told me I wasn't the player I could be because I drink too much soda. I said, oh, really? Dropped soda, and I lost 20 pounds, like, so quick. I was like, oh.
I want to tell y'all, if you come out, like I said, Sister Revka has been here 1 year on the rock. Huh? A year and 2 months. Of course, we've also been married a year and 2 months because we got married, 3 days after she got here. But that's not the point of the story. Stop distracting me. She lost 50 pounds in probably how fast? 6 months? 50 pounds in 6 months. And that's just being here. She ate organic out there. So her eating habits didn't change very much. But she lost 50 pounds just coming out here. How do you feel?
I feel great.
She feels great, like Tony the Tiger. Tony the Tiger great. So you will lose. Hi, baby boy. You will lose weight by the sheer fact that you are busy working, and you're working for the production of your family. No, there's no greater work than that. That's right, Brother David. Yes, I have seen your videos. There's no greater work than working for yourself. Yeah, her workout changed. That's right. She used to be a driver, an Uber driver, or was it Uber?
Right share.
And what?
Ride share.
A ride share driver. Whatever that means. Uber, Lyft, all those. Okay. And then she came here and was working in the gardens. 50 pounds gone. Just gone. And her appetite actually, would you say, increased?
Yes.
Her appetite increased, so she was intaking more food but losing weight. Now, she did change some of the things that she was eating because she ate what comes from the gardens, but she lost 50 pounds in 6 months. Faster than what they say is a healthy rate of losing weight. But she wasn't starving herself.
While pregnant.
While she was pregnant. That's a good point. While she was pregnant, 50 pounds. Our health is one of the most essential things that we have in these times. Our health. And that's a lot of people take for granted. They got all the guns, all the, I got me my $2,000 AR-15. I got 20,000 rounds of ammunition. I got me my 9mm. I got me 1,500 rounds of hollow point Stella Bell ammo. I got the EOTech red dot scope armor rifle. I got my night vision, but I can't get off the couch. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Is that better? But they can't get off the couch. You can't get off the couch. These times, brothers and sisters, and I know we got off topic because I'm the king of digressions. I will go on some far off digressions. These times are so, I know I'm trying to joke because there's actually a very deep level of seriousness in this. David said, help me, I'm falling, I can't get up. He'll still be trying to sit there with his rifle, like trying to sight it in, looking at the front door like, I still got you. I got you.
Why was I looking at the post trying to pick up, like, is he serious?
There's an extreme seriousness. Yeah, butt indentations on the couch. You can see exactly where his crack is because it comes up, and that, you know how the two cheeks, and it comes up to that point right. You know what I'm saying? That ridiculousness. Got the Cheeto stains on his t-shirt. He hides snacks underneath his third roll.
Snack packs. That's a master copy.
But seriously, we have 3 states that are Trump is. I mean, he may have already given a call by now. New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. 3 more states and 1 city and many more that are possibly going to be on shutdown, going to be on lockdown. And so many people were given the warning. So many people, like I said, I'm a big guy. My garden was bowed. Brother, you can't say that. You can't say that.
What is bold?
Oh, gosh. Oh, brother, okay. Right, if you can't jog, then what's the point of the rifle? I mean, we are, Brother David's rolling it too. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. We are in some interesting and I think very bad times. With all the joking aside, I think a lot of us can joke with this because we know that we have something set up where we can stay in place. Again, I said it yesterday and I'm going to say it today. If you are a brother or sister and you have the ability to leave your state, this may be the time to start making some connections and reaching out. If anybody would have you, I know a lot of places are on lockdown. I said I'm about to go on lockdown. There's just, whether it be the virus or whatever it may be, so many people waited so long. They waited too long. They waited until it started to rain. And they think that they're going to be able to get out once the rain starts. No, once the rain started, that meant that the ark door was already shut, and you are now outside of the ark. You are now outside of the ark. And how many people do you think watched the ark door start slowly? That's Brother Alex, that's right. That's exactly it. That's why we can joke. How many of us watch how many of them, or how many people are watching the ark door shut? And then it starts raining. I don't care. I'm not worried. Then the water starts, it gets to 6 inches. I don't care. A foot. I don't care. I guarantee once it started getting a little bit higher, they're like, wait, what the hell is going on? This storm is not stopping. It is not stopping. As Brother David Burnett said, we on this channel, we've discussed this thing since at least last Passover. We are now coming to this Passover. So it's been at least a year. It's been at least a year. It's been at least a year, right? At least a year? It's been at least a year. That's enough time for you to either have made alliances. Hey, if I'm not out in time, can I come to your place? Or some others are treading water, right? And this is not about financial status. It's not about how much money you make. This channel has never been about that, because I'm not a rich man. So it has never been about how much money a person makes. Has it? It's never been about that. It's always been about, first of all, many people do not have the humility to say, okay, I'm in trouble. Or I just need, Brother Jean-Paul, shalom to you and your household. Because we're looking at New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut shutting down, and many more states. I mean, when I read that article, I was like, wait a minute, so Trump's going to shut down 3 states? To contain the virus, you almost have to. You have to shut down states. You can't travel. Brother David Patterson said, if you're watching the ark door shut, make sure you're on the right side of that door. That's right. You want to make sure that when that door shuts, you are on the right side of that. You do not want to be on the outside of that door looking up. You want to be on the inside saying, thank the Father. Thank the Father. Two birds are looking at each other.
Well, he's looking at me.
And that's what this stream is about. We're only going to go 11 more minutes, and I'm going to shut it down at 2 hours. And America's having a what the hell is going on moment. That's right. Oh, Brother David said, follow Yahshua, you have blown the financial excuses out of the realm of reality. If we can do it, there's no excuse, because there's nothing special about it. There's nothing. We did not, me and Brother David, when he came out, which was before me, he didn't have a buku, a buttload of dollars. People think you got to come out there with, when I came out, I had paid the down payment in Arizona, and I was on a monthly payment schedule. I paid a certain amount a month. I worked and paid off the land for the first year. I made $10 an hour in Arizona, just so that people can have an understanding. I didn't make 20, 25. I was making $10 an hour working a temp job in Arizona when I made my down payment and started making my payments on my land. $10 an hour. When I left Arizona, I had no more than $5,000 before I reached Pastor Fox, and then he blessed me. When I came to the Rock, I had the travel trailer and about $7,500. That was it, and monthly payments on the land, and that's all I had. That's it. And I worked my ass off for that. And had Pastor Fox not bust me, I would have came out here with about $4,600. That's right, Elkow. That's the truth. I did it because it was the most important thing to do. Come to a land and live in a tent until the cottage was built out of wood, straw, dirt, and a metal roof. That's Brother David's testimony. Let me read his testimony again for those who didn't hear it. Brother David came to his land and lived in a tent. A tent. Until the cottage was built. And his cottage was built out of wood, straw, and dirt with a metal roof. And right along with him was his family. This is why, men, I have talked about, that's why this channel is set up in stages. I talk about marriage because I guarantee you, had he had a wicked woman, that dream, that vision that y'all put him on would have been 10,000 times more difficult. I ain't living in no dirt little hut. I ain't in Africa. Instead, she supported him. They supported him the whole way. That's a whole lot. That's a difference. I'll tell you, it's a difference. It's a huge difference. That's why I speak about marriage on this channel. Because there's no way families are going to get through this time if you got dissension and clashing. Husband and wife clashing while we're in a situation that we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. We do not have time to be having clashing in our houses while we're sitting here trying to survive, trying to make it, trying to thrive in this current environment. It ain't going to happen. That's why I talk about marriage. That's why I talk about order. So whether or not people liked the topics that I was saying, it was coming from a biblical perspective from the Bible. Because when times like this come, the last thing you want to be in is in a situation where the two of you are looking at divorce. I ain't trying to be with you no more. I ain't trying to be with you. I ain't gonna go through this with you. I'm tired of you. And then this happens. And now you got this in your home as the head with that outside the home. There ain't no peace nowhere. And that's why you see those stories on the internet where the man bulls away his wife. And I told y'all yesterday, there was already a story. A man went and killed his estranged wife and his child, his daughter, because he was not able to get his children for visitation because of these city clampdowns they're doing. He couldn't see his child. The wife would not allow him to see him because of the clampdown. So he went to her house, killed her, killed his daughter, and then killed himself. We don't have time for that. Men right now need to be in a position to be supported by their helpmeet or helpmeets. They need to be supported by them because they are undertaking a grave situation. People are going to be hurt. People are going to be hurt. Sadly enough, people in these situations will be robbed, pillaged, and people will die. Whether it be from the virus or from others. People in this country are not in any mental capacity to go through this situation because people in this country are spoiled. They're used to a right now environment. They're used to a thriving economy. They're used to spending money, buying. They're used to the luxuries and the entertainments. They're used to being entertained. They're not used to this. At least a large portion of them are not used to this. This is why we must be prudent, brothers. We must be prudent. We must have foreseen the evil and have hidden ourselves and our families and are making the moves. Yes, they are used to abundance, fools in need of nothing. That is exactly what we are used to. In abundance. Spending copious amounts of dollars driving a vehicle to impress people, and now there ain't nobody to impress anymore. We are Facebook. Oh, I'm not. But most are Facebook people. They want people to like what they're doing, but there ain't nobody like it no more. There ain't nobody like it no more. There's nobody to impress. I'm not impressing my coworkers or my friends. That's right, there ain't no cars in the street. None of that. Nobody cares. People are worried about getting food. People are worried about getting food and getting water and having some ability to take care of themselves. Diapers. Brother Alex, I love it. I love it. Right, Netflix is overloaded. People just came home and started watching TV. I gotta catch up on my shows now. And y'all forbid, what happens if the internet goes down? Can you all imagine that? But Sister Amy, that is my entertainment. When I go outside and I just look at everything that is happening, I have fun when I work. right, Brother Frank, he said hair salons and nail salons are closed. Everyone's going to go back to natural. Have a blessed night, Sister Angela. Shalom, shalom. 4 minutes left. Does anybody have anything that they want to say? People are going to go crazy. I fully believe it, Enlightened One. People are going to go crazy because this is not what they expected. That's right, Elcount. You want to learn how to garden? Buy some seeds and start wearing it out. Get your hands in the soil. Start planting. Those are the only options you got left. No, I'm talking. That's funny. We don't. The options are gone. The options are gone. You only have few options left now, and those are running out. And honestly, it should not take anybody to keep pushing you for you to see it. If by this point in time, if you haven't seen it, you're not going to see it. That's what I really meant. If you're not going to see it, it's going to take for you to be in the damning situation for you to ever open up your eyes. And hopefully it doesn't take that. A lot of people have found out that they're and I'm not referring to Pastor Fox, but a lot of people have found out that their internet fellowship that they thought they were part of, they're not part of. They have no answers. They were part of an internet fellowship, but now they're locked down. And now they're asking me, well, what do I do? I already said it. I already said it. I saw Sister Amy, get out and get out now. If you're going to get out now. That's the only option we have left. If you are going to make the move, you need to start doing it now. Nobody knows where it goes from here. I don't know where it goes from here. I can tell you there's going to be some severe problems with food. Right, Brother Errol. That's the truth. People are still in denial. They're in extreme denial. Like, I still don't think anything's going to happen. That's the truth, Brother Errol. Blessings to your house and your wife. It's just, I don't know what else to say. I've been, and many others before me have been at this. That's right, Fountain of Life. They want Egypt. And we were talking about that yesterday about faith in Hebrews 11, about how Moses, by faith, took the people left Egypt by faith. And people today are clinging on to Egypt. They're clinging on to it. Oh, hopefully it doesn't fall down. Right, because you want Egypt. Just say it. Just say the reason why you're not making moves is because you love Egypt. Brother Jean-Paul said, we bought a piece of land in Missouri. Any suggestions for a newbie? If you have a travel trailer, get there. That's it. New Jersey's being shut down. Well, once Trump announces it, New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut will be shut down. I just reported. Good night, Brother Ken. Good night. They're sending people. Well, Rhode Island is now searching for people from New York. They're searching them. If they try to leave New York, they're turning them around and sending them back. They are searching for people that have New York license plates. And New Jersey is also being shut down. House of Lee said it. They started in tents. Get a tent. Get a tent. That's right. Get a tent. Go to Walmart and buy a tent. Lay a tarp down. Put your tent on top of it. You got a starting place. At that point in time, you can then start some gardens, get some food in the ground, and then look for a travel. I just saw one, a nice 24-foot travel trailer. It needed some work on the outside. $1,000. $1,000. You can, while you still can, go to Home Depot. You can build a little 8x8, a little 8x12 little home, tiny little home, 8x12. Insulate it, put a bed in it, put a stove in it, put a counter in it, put a bucket in it, and you got a home. A place for you to ride this thing out. I mean, after all, us as Yah's people, we didn't really require a whole lot to live anyways. In fact, the bigger the place we buy, the more we put in it. We buy these big extravagant homes so that we can stockpile it with a bunch of stuff that we don't need. When I spend most of my time actually outside. I bought a tent a couple of months ago, brother. That may be all you need. Buy some water, bring it out there. You can set up a tarp between a couple of trees and catch water, catch rainwater. Put a little connector or spigot, and that water drops on that tarp, and you can funnel that water into some bottles, and you got water. I mean, I have rain catchment. That's why I start off with. I mean, that's what we use, our rain catchment. We're still using it 3 years in, and we still drink rain catchment water. We still use rain catchment water to bathe 3 years in. And we're still going to get a well. And I keep saying that. Like I said, our problem right now is we just don't have room to store all of our water. We've got plenty of it. I want more. I want 50,000 gallons of water. Our tent was nothing special. Yes, it would be difficult at first, comparatively speaking. Resolve that in your heart now. If you have the fortitude to do it now. That's it. Set in your heart. I'm moving, and I'm moving because Yah sent me, and I'm moving in faith. And that's where you start. Whether you admit it or not, you practice what you believe. Question is, where is your faith? Do you truly believe Yah sent you there? And if so, then the only question is, will you do it? And for those in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, you may not have time. For those in Florida and Michigan and Louisiana, you may not have time to do it. But the Eero said, tell me about it. We got too much stuff. We're buying camping equipment this summer and learn how to live outside for a bit. Hallelujah. And that's usually the average person's issue is we just have too much stuff. We buy a 2,500 square foot house and we feel like we have to have something on every wall. You buy a house that already has a rain catchment but needs work. Those are some of the best ones to have. You get to put your own touch on it, your own touch on your house. We also have been gardening to bring our skills to the land. Hallelujah. Because those skills, I only hope that you see the sincerity in which I'm speaking. We don't know how long this thing lasts. We don't. It hurts my heart to know that there are still going to be those that say, I just hope it's none of y'all. rainwater. We put our rainwater, brother, Sean, through our Berkey. We just throw it through our Berkey. I have 2 Berkeys. Well, 1 Berkey and 1 other filtration 5-gallon bucket using Dalton filters, which is the same thing. We filter it, and then for our showers, we just heat it up on the stove. And that's it. In 3 years. And because of the life we are accustomed to, we need to learn to adapt to the old ways. Doesn't take long to get used to it. It doesn't. But we do have to learn to adapt to the old ways. And some people have a hard time at that. Some people have a hard time going to the bathroom in a bucket. Some people have a hard time with that. But what do you think is going to happen if you lose water pressure? You going to keep going to the bathroom in your toilet? I know our toilet doesn't flush, so I'm going to keep going to the bathroom there. That's right. Sacrifice, Sister Amy. And that's what most don't want to do. They do not want to have to sacrifice anything, especially convenience, until they're forced. And by then, it's not a sacrifice. You're doing it because you have to do it. You don't want to have to do this thing. It is bad. I'm not even going to say it looks bad. It is bad. It is bad, brothers and sisters. It is bad. We were told to follow the old paths, to live simple, to grow our own food. I mean, it says in Proverbs, before you even build your house, get your gardens right. It's we're there. We're what we feared would be here. And like I said, I just don't ever see it. No, I just don't. There's no way this could ever return back to life as usual. It may get to a point when it may get to a point where things settle down. It may, but it'll never get back to what it was. Ever. You know, we've crossed too many thresholds that you can't go back behind. Too many checkpoints have already been passed. Just like 9/11, too many checkpoints were passed and the country was never the same. We're having states shut down. We'll never be the same. We're having the government and the police tell us that they're basically allowing crime. That's basically what was said, is that they're allowing certain crimes. We'll find out sooner or later. We'll find out sooner or later. That, Sister Amy, that's right. I don't think much will change for us either. We just got to watch out for the random strangers and hope that there are those that are out there. For myself, I hope this, that there are those that are out there that are serious about coming out. Whether you're a single brother or a single sister, my hope is that you're serious about coming out and that you do it. Join, I'm going to say it again before I end. Join onto somebody. Join with somebody. If anybody, Brother Jean Paul, I went to Missouri Wind and Solar to get my panels and my batteries. I will not go there to get my charge controller or my inverter. I will not get them at Missouri Wind and Solar. But my panels are doing great and my batteries are doing great. But I will not get my inverters. I got my inverter and my charge controller. Amazon's a great place to get them. But also, you can get your panels from Amazon too. And actually, my next set I'm getting from Amazon. I'm not going to go out to Missouri Wind and Solar. So hopefully, you know, this is a time of great reflection. For those of us, we can thank the Father. We can really wave our hand in the air and thank Yah for giving us the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Sister Biddy Boo said she's willing to help. For the time being, I'm willing to help. But I'm letting you know right now, that window's closing and that door, that gate is, that door is closing. But be ready to be quarantined also. Be ready to be quarantined because I'm not playing with the health of my. The reason why I took leave from work is to not give anything to my children, especially my two babies. I ain't playing. I ain't playing. So we gotta be about it. All right. I want 10 minutes over. Does anybody have anything that they want to say? Anything that's anybody has anything that they want to say? Sister Amy said closed here, and that's actually wisdom. I go back and forth like, do do you have firsthand knowledge of corona sickness or of death or of hospital? Yes, I work at a hospital, and yes, we do have cases in our hospital. In fact, our hospital is basically closed now, and I took leave, so yes, I do. I actually know. And I'm still in contact with the nursing staff that work there. I still am in contact with the nursing staff that works there. Those that are literally working with the patients. So that's why when I listen to a lot of people and they go around YouTube or Facebook and they copy posts and say, see, nothing's going on. It's not. And I'm like, listen, you don't. Who's your source? You're running around Facebook and copying people on Facebook. And I'm not talking about you, Rain 7 Law. I'm talking about there are those that are on Facebook who are just copying other people's posts and sharing them as if it's truth. That's sad to me that that's what we've gone to. I even know somebody that lost somebody who was sick with the virus. So, appreciate the info, videos, and taking time to show your steps and process. God bless you and household. Bless you, brother Yakim Maccabee. All right. With that being said, if I don't have any more, yeah, I saw brother David say he's close. I'm right there, brother David. I'm right there. Man, I'm right there. It's just I feel a sadness that it took this long. I have 10 acres in North Central Florida out on the sticks, willing to help. I am saddened that it took people this long to decide to want to move. Man, you take the idea that there are those that didn't take the precautions themselves, they're still probably running the streets, and then they want to help, and then you put your family at risk. See, I'm talking myself out of it now. Anyways, have a blessed night, everybody. Please be careful. Take the precautions. Look at the news. Be prudent. Foresee the evil. Start your gardens. Have some protection. Anyone also from the UK here? Not that I know, but is there anybody in the UK? I'm gonna ask that question and I'm closing this baby out. Not that I know of. Not the UK. I know I got some in South Africa, some in Qatar, some in the Philippines. I think I had a couple followers in Thailand. Man. Yeah, not that I know of, Sister Rosie. I am sorry. I'm sorry. Be careful, everybody. I'll be putting a couple more videos up this week. Please be careful. Please be careful. Like Nas said, wake up this morning and got yourself a gun. Make sure you have one and you know how to use it and you have some ammo. And you have food. You have water. If you have medications that you need, medications. And get around like believers. Please be careful. Please be careful. Somebody actually cares. I think everybody in this true. Shalom.